By the mid-19th century, London was the undisputed capital of the world, a colossal engine of the British Empire. Its population had exploded from 1 million to over 2.5 million in just 50 years, drawing people from every corner of the globe to its bustling streets and burgeoning industries. But beneath the glittering facade of Victorian progress, a far less glamorous reality was festering, threatening to overwhelm the very heart of the city. For centuries, the River Thames had been London's lifeblood, a highway, a source of water, and crucially, a convenient dumping ground. As the city expanded, so did its waste problem. Primitive cesspits overflowed, and with the advent of the flushing toilet, encouraged by new domestic water supplies, human waste was simply diverted directly into the Thames. What was out of sight was for many out of mind, until it wasn't.
One of the profound analytical framings of this period is understanding why the crisis escalated to such an extreme before action was taken. The prevailing scientific consensus was the miasma theory, the belief that diseases like cholera were spread by bad air emanating from decaying organic matter. This meant authorities focused on disguising the smell rather than addressing its source or the true mechanism of disease transmission. They knew the smell was bad, but they didn't understand why it was truly dangerous, and that intellectual blind spot was critical.
This conviction meant that for years, the primary solution to London's growing stench was more often perfumed handkerchiefs and disinfectant, not comprehensive infrastructure. The irony, of course, is that while their understanding of disease was flawed, the measures taken to combat the smell ultimately led to solutions that also tackled the real problem. But as London grew, so did the volume of effluent flowing into the Thames. By the 1850s, the river was in essence a vast open sewer, a murky, toxic soup that ebbed and flowed with the tides. Cholera epidemics ravaged the city in 1832, 1849, and 1854, killing tens of thousands. Though medical understanding was still evolving, the correlation between dirty water and disease was becoming starkly clear to some, notably physician John Snow. However, it would take something more visceral, more universally undeniable than a scientific theory to finally spur definitive action. That something arrived with the summer of 1858. A brutal heat wave descended upon London, baking the city for weeks. The Thames, already a septic tank, dropped to dangerously low levels, exposing vast putrefying mudbanks laden with decades of human and industrial waste. One contemporary account described it as a pestilential stench, which brought death and disease in its train. Records show that the heat simply cooked the river, accelerating the decomposition process and releasing an unimaginable choking miasma. The smell became an entity in itself, an almost physical presence that infiltrated every nook and cranny of the city. It wasn't just unpleasant, it was overwhelming. Accounts from the time speak of people losing their appetites, falling ill, and simply being unable to escape the pervasive reek. Even hardened Londoners found themselves retreating indoors, closing windows in a futile attempt to keep the horror out. Nowhere was the problem more acutely felt than at the Houses of Parliament, which stood majestically along the Thames. Members of Parliament found themselves directly assaulted by the putrid fumes. Business became nearly impossible. They tried to move sittings, to douse curtains with chloride of lime, to hang sheets soaked in carbolic acid, but nothing could mask the gargantuan horror, as some dubbed it.
the future Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli, famously declared to the House of Commons that noble river which gives its name to the metropolis is in fact a Stygian pool, reeking with ineffable and intolerable horrors.
The crisis was now undeniable, with the literal stink of London permeating their very place of governance. Parliament finally passed a bill in a remarkable 18 days, overriding decades of bureaucratic inertia and financial squabbling. The Metropolitan Board of Works was given unprecedented powers and funds to tackle the problem once and for all. Their chief engineer, a brilliant but previously frustrated visionary named Joseph Bazalgette, was finally unleashed. Bazalgette's plan was nothing short of monumental. He envisioned an entirely new integrated sewer system for the entire city, a network of 82 miles of massive interconnecting intercepting sewers running parallel to the Thames, designed to carry London's waste downstream far beyond the city, where it would be safely discharged into the estuary on the outgoing tide. This system would be powered by 4 colossal pumping stations, masterpieces of Victorian engineering in their own right. The project was gargantuan, requiring over 318 million bricks and 670,000 cubic meters of concrete. Thousands of laborers, known as navvies, toiled for years, digging trenches up to 20 feet deep through London's clay and gravel, often encountering Roman remains and even forgotten plague pits. The construction itself was a triumph of logistics and sheer human effort, transforming the city from below.
What this reveals about the Victorian era is a critical shift in state responsibility and technological ambition. Prior to this, public health was largely seen as an individual concern, and infrastructure projects of this scale were rare. The Great Stink, however, forced a recognition that collective problems required collective solutions, enabled by the immense industrial capacity and engineering prowess of the age. It's a monument not just to Bazalgette, but to a society finally taking decisive action on its own behalf, regardless of the staggering cost.
The main drainage system was largely completed by 1865. The effect was almost instantaneous. The Thames, while not pristine, was dramatically cleaner, and the unbearable stench vanished. Crucially, the regular cholera epidemics that had plagued London for decades abruptly ceased. Though germ theory wasn't fully accepted until later, Bazalgette's sewers had inadvertently removed the very conditions that allowed the disease to thrive.
Joseph Bazalgette's system, conceived out of crisis and executed with genius, remains one of the most remarkable feats of civil engineering in history. Much of his original infrastructure continues to serve London today, nearly 160 years later, a testament to its robust design and quality construction. It became a blueprint for urban sanitation around the world, fundamentally altering how modern cities manage their waste and protect public health.
The Great Stink of 1858 was a moment of profound humiliation for the world's greatest city. But from that foul crisis emerged a solution of breathtaking scale and foresight, an invisible network
beneath our feet that quietly ensures our health and comfort to this day. It reminds us that often the most crucial elements of modern life are the ones we never see, built by those who dared to dream big in the face of an intolerable reality.